right, here we go again. So if it's what I say it is, that young lady is part of a specially trained team of bullshit artists and organized crime and racketeering street soldiers for narcotics bosses, sex trafficking bosses, gambling enterprise bosses, etc. No matter what they say it is. And usually, if they're talking about me having sex or being sexual inappropriately in any way, it usually means, based upon my training and experience, that they are. So most likely there's somebody having sex around this thing, managers at Walmart with lower level employees, dirty cops with the specially trained teams. Right. What her job is, what the security job is in Walmart right now, if they in fact put them into me with some bullshit story, is to say that I'm a sex offender or a child. Then when somebody eventually checks it out, the next story is that I just wasn't caught. Because right now, without somebody checking the list or knowing my name, they will assume that I'm a sex offender. So when that gets caught, they're all freaked out at that point because they're going to get all these people to do shit. Right? Then they find out that I was actually just a former agent that they're harassing because they tried to kill me. And they're actually trying to kill me. So in what you should know here in Cranberry Township, that one of the biggest narcotics-driven states, transnational transportation states, everybody in the state just about has used drugs or uses drugs or will use drugs, illegal drugs. Well, actually, cannabis is legal, so but used it when it was illegal. They also all have it. They have one of the highest STT rates in the country. It's calling the shots, also in New Mexico. So you have conservative people and conservative communities saying this is a conservative battle, but they get called by New Mexico libtards who are involved in narcotics distribution, sex trafficking, and worse. So if Cranberry Township is doing that, then there's something to investigate. And Kash Patel should begin immediately. But they're trying to hide something. If an officer began the sexualization of a disabled 61-year-old combat veteran and former police or law enforcement officer, deputy U.S. Marshal, criminal investigator, and correctional officer, Federal Bureau of Prisons, then that officer at a minimum needs a letter of reprimand in their file. At a minimum. You can fire the piece of shit for all I care. You should put him in prison. Or her in prison. Or both. So the history of this thing is whoever does it is actually doing something inappropriately sexual. Oh, these young girls, it's not the same with me. I'm a pedophile. But the boss that's having sex with them is actually in love with them. The cop that's having sex with them is actually in love with them. That's how psycho it is. Never tried to have sex with any of them. A couple times introduced myself. That's it. Didn't tell them to call me. Well, if you're spreading rumors, that's how they got my name. So look me up on the list. I don't have a criminal history. I have one reckless driving thing in Omaha because they drugged me. Everyone's talking about the deep state until it comes to their effects and operations in my life, which makes you all bullshit. You're not fighting any deep state, you are. Oh, I'm causing trouble? What are you talking about? I'm causing trouble. You just tried to sexualize me. And so Mr. Touch Eye asked for me. Mr. Touch Eye probably having sex with him. I said, I'm not paranoid. You're pieces of shit. Dude, that's the scam. Once I bust them, they go, oh, he's doing anything. Pass the crap. Oh, the meth pipe these days, I guess. State police should investigate any Walmart that engages in sexual operations. And the NF. That's why you see a 70-year-old man who never offended all of a sudden offends. That's why they keep doing it. They put the mission set in. Come on, God, it's 30, 40 years. The sickos. All right, I'll call you later. That's somebody. That's what you see in the news. That's what that is. I can tell you what everything in the news, who's doing it, how it's being done. They are waiting for dementia to set in, for that sexualization to work. That's how sick they are. God's honest truth. They're sickos. They're a cult. There's something in their past that's being held over. And that's what drives them to do it. First me in store, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to buy. Still missed the mark on a couple things. Because they were in my head yesterday. And I put some stuff in my storage unit that I shouldn't have. You've all results to do the based upon. So, drug law somewhere. Stay. No, touch the right. Yeah, before they started shooting, people lost that. All sorts of things. Yeah, but the school resource officer go bad. Sometimes that's what they did. Sexualize them everywhere they went. Because they don't want them there. But even like a rich drug dealer in the community, their daughter breaks bad and the cop, cuffs her or something like that. They'll hire these people to do this, and it'll be done in Walmart and everything. But like, what is money? They're sick pieces of shit. Okay, put in action. I want to take one and one and come up with four. There's at least two. That's halfway there. It's and then foul healthy burger. Not as much sodium, but have to do. They didn't have any straight up no salt added pinto beans. I had to buy the chili beans. They had pinto beans regular. A lot of young people here get the maybe I'll teach them metaphysics. Always a little Jewish magic. Magic. If I was younger here, I probably got married. What's this messed up place? They don't mess that stuff. Home of the meth, Kansas, the Midwest. No, you have to understand when they're baiting the man, there's like a witch's coven of people that are watching or know about it. They call each other up and they're spelling the person to be sexual with a young girl, or at least try. They're wackos. They're devils. And they're working for a crime boss somewhere. I told you, the whole anti-gun thing came about because of marijuana. It's how stupid it is. Well, because if you're not pro marijuana, if you're not with me, you're against. Right. And of course, it's making people psychotic. There is actually a reason. My thing was legalize it because they were using it, but control it. They didn't control it. I mean, it's not the strength of this shit. Because see, marijuana and the cannabis and all that, it's based on strength and tolerance. So if you use the stuff that's really strong, you're just going to build tolerance up to it. It's not like you need that much THC in your system. Now, if they keep the levels down, less than 50% of what they have, people will be healthier with it. It's just that's the problem. Because if you use the really strong stuff, you're going to have to use the really strong stuff. It's like drinking whiskey, I guess, versus drinking beer. So they have to, a certain point they can smoke themselves free. I saw that stuff. But then they go for the really strong stuff, which shouldn't be good. Well, because the idea is that narcos were making money off it. And it was uncontrolled. It was being laced and all this other stuff. The idea was to, control it, make it safe strain, and maybe even match some purchase amounts and things like that. And but they went and they let the really strong stuff screwed everything up. I really don't care. You don't have to put a AED out on everybody in the store. But what I'm telling you is, don't just the other game is always starts mentally ill, so don't look at that. That's the other one we try. It's an entire scheme for any response to that. No, I'm sure. So, yeah. I said, leave it alone. They're just mad because I was beating their bullshit rumors in Santa Fe. They tried to say me introducing myself to people and I wanted sex or something. I was like the only one not having sex. Right. No, I grew up during the Dr. Ruth era. After a bunch of people died, right? A lot of it's like COVID. Right? Beginning HIV/AIDS. So, Dr. Ruth explained that it's supposed to do it. So it's supposed to be, but people don't mind STDs like this. That's the other problem. Like everybody has this. Those women are expert at dating. Just going for the other guy with his guy. Other especially states with the highest STD rates. Mexico, they find what's she? You can't trust them. So I don't know Mexico's. The other list wasn't on it. That's what that's the one like somebody at CIA just prepares like click on it. Unless there it's light up there. It's dark for the doesn't look anybody. You never know when they'll find Trump people want the first one force law. It's the worst that this thing was ever been. And number two, oh, six Genesis. Second was that's it. One more. Pretty boring. Not showing HIV, basically. Shit. You know what's going to be crazy is that when Democrats take control again, if in fact they're doing well, they're going to reverse everything. It's going to be the same thing, but in reverse. They should shut up. We're going to put a Charlie Kirk statue of everything. For some more. Yeah, so people are going to be pissed off. He said that was too. They have a big deal. It's just like, putting Sammy Davis Jr. at every school. We want to have statues of Sammy Davis Jr. at every school. Set the show. We want the freedom. See where it's going, right? These crews spoke up. They would have to Emerson. Yeah, but you're not allowed to block. You're lucky you don't shoot. You can't block the names. Well, people are in custody inside. No, you're like it doesn't marshal service, man, they might shoot you. And they're still in custody. First, I thought something. Well, if you can approach that, all you like, but if you don't block the van, you won't get thrown to the ground. You just open the way for the van to pull out, nobody even touches you, right? Put it out to your protesters, let the vans travel in and out freely, and they'll never touch you. Well, inflation, it's, potential. Right. The debt, they're trying to cause debt numbness in me, like, just keep spending, so it's out there. But, I'll probably end up getting a loan, just putting it to the side, but not not great. Would just probably be easier on my mind, even though it's a 0% credit card. Now tomorrow I gotta work on getting, getting a bunch of registrations. Like, I should have figured this hotel out before I should have been seeing queue. So the last 2 days I paid for not. Yeah, stop. Now people here are just different. So, I mean, you probably have some big assholes who like be against me. Can't believe the community is, yeah. She liked what they were trying to do in Cadorus. No, the fact is, a cop isn't any different than anyone else until they are, and that's a fact of life. Right? And there is no biblical love of police officers. There really is. That's probably one of the things that makes it really wrong. Like, supposedly God loves police officers. Well, most police officers, will be honest with you, probably not. But hopefully he forgives us. Again, you're not corrupt. Again, there's a beginning of everything. And then even if you are corrupt, there's certain things that are forgivable. But if you cause people to fall, that's a bad deal. That's the thing. That's why the church hides. Because they want to stand where they cause people to fall. And they don't let people into the church. Everything else. Ah, Yeah, I sure wish I was in this place here a year or two ago, at least. So pretty much Ross PD somehow enabled me to get peace of mind long enough to get it. Nah, every time I saw a Ross PD car, something would happen with the car. Like even last night to get back to that hotel, I saw a Ross PD cop, and then I still kind of drove around for another hour or so, but I finally got back to somewhere. And then this morning I'm driving. Where was I going? I guess I was trying to go to my. Just trying to go to Home Depot. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was driving up Alton. I see the I was on like I saw the Ross PD vehicle, and then it had me. Well, I went to Target. Right, it got me to Target first. I saw the Ross PD vehicle, and then I got to Target to get the stuff I needed. I had to use the bathroom. I used the bathroom. That's what it was. So I said the thing was like, well, go back. The thought was go back and ask the officer. They'll tell you what bathroom. He's on the side of the road in SUV, or she, I don't know, SUV. So they're on the side of the road. Just go back, I can't go back. And just as I said that, I went by Target, and I'm like, oh, there. I used to Target, I was thinking, where's the clean bath glass? I'm trying to move in. And, I don't have a place yet. I just got out of the hotel, and I have these bathroom. What's the clean bath? The cops know that, So I'm like, so I went into Target, used the bath. I tried to buy something, but I couldn't find anything. Everything was like either overpriced or, it just didn't have the variety. I was like the stock. I was looking for the stock espresso. I would have paid a little extra because I used the bathroom, but couldn't find anything. And essentially the inference was you don't have to buy anything to use the bathroom. Just so then when I left the Target, the thing's like, okay, go over here. Don't sit in front of Target. Move down to the other, another part of another store. But you use the bathroom, and you sit outside of those fishy, right? No, it actually didn't tell me to live in Ross. It showed me Cranberry Township. And then that's when it all came together. Just takes a while to back up. So Ross actually, and I'm not sure again because I have to stay the longer, but Ross PD is probably not responsible for crime in their community. I never said that. I don't think I've ever said it. Right. And when I went to Sheets, there was this cop who was there, Ross PD guy, and he walked out. That thing goes well. We couldn't find anything to eat there. But again, the Ross PD cop I saw may have been the same cop. The vehicle I saw, right? Because he didn't see me. Like he was walking out. The other cop saw me. But that's the inference. Like you were supposed to talk to him. Because they say, hey, hi, whatever it is. Or whatever. Thumbs up. This used to be a Wood Spring Suites. I love these places. I should have kept my trailer and kept traveling. The problem is I couldn't travel east. Again, they're devils. I couldn't travel east. This is the first time I was able to travel east in all those years. I wish I never left Pennsylvania, but yeah, I couldn't see. California wasn't too bad. Again, that's the point. They get involved. Now, Kansas is nasty. Oklahoma is semi nasty. But again, if they don't interfere, like New Mexico would have worked. Without a charity based person. And I just found somebody. how, the culture of Native American, like, Latino is actually different than Chicano. People don't even know Chicano. That's American. It's Mexican American. What that song with Cheech Chong? I probably know Cheech and Chong too. Inside, though, Like, a lot of people Hollywood kind of stuff. It's just they don't know who I am. Like Brittany alluded to me. Alluded to us as other things. It's just a shame. I could have saved her somehow. I could have got mine straighter. Yeah, he took me out because I could have been security for Brittany and other people and got them straight. Oh, ask for crazy. I feel them from a distance. I don't have as much. Maybe you can get me back up here. I don't have as much as I used to have. But I fixed Madonna's life. I fixed this life. I fixed ourselves' life. I fixed. But this is magic. So it's gross. It's a short singer. Short female singer from 2003. She wrote Michelle produced it. Sarah girl. She was like a skateboarder, wasn't she? Avril Lavigne. I think Avril Lavigne's like. That's how they showed me when I went out to California. They knew what was going to happen. Like, they all owed me a lot of money. I'm in signs. Maybe a lot of them know me as Larry, but what Larry is it? Right? Especially if I don't make it in still. I think I communicated a little bit with Billy Eilish, but like, yeah, when she, I don't know, he asked me also, but I'm there, like I'm a help in Hollywood and all that. I mean, if you read the Bible, it calls us helps. Our job is to rehearse good group of people. Thanks. That's okay. Why my brother doesn't get it? Well, I don't know if it's Stellar Valley's like this, but no wonder my brother doesn't get it because he lives in Pennsylvania. I mean, you live in these other places. Oh my gosh. I think they're more corrupt out in Pennsylvania. But again, this place is turning out corrupt. They're going to try to sexualize me. So you're not going to tell me it's bait operation. That's sexualization. Isolating the man, trying to tell everybody to peddle. Everybody wills pedophilia on the man. Right. That's everyone. I'll sometimes get thirsty. Right. Well, again, Charlie Kirk deserves to be respected in death the way everybody else does, and that's the best I can say for it. Right. But this other bullshit Yeah, it's bullshit. I mean, it's bullshit. Nothing but bullshit. Right. It's like they shot Abe Lincoln or something. Right. I think Abe Lincoln didn't even have as much behind it when he passed. Again, same thing Communist Party used to do in Soviet. So again, I know that you don't want to be it, but you're being it. Supreme Leader Kirk has been assassinated. Wonder what the who knows? Well, again, we gotta enter slow. Right. I think Mexico's killed so many Americans. I don't think there's international any capable international pushback. Agreed. Agreed. Larry, they call us Larry's. Like I said, well, it's another generation that's going to pass. You know what I mean? It's not right. I mean, I hate to be it, but somebody's got to be it when they're being it. Right? We agree.